Okay, let's get started. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's stream. Playing Minecraft. I say tonight, it's technically this evening. Welcome to the stream. We're playing Minecraft. We're picking up from where we left off last week with a couple of additions. First and foremost, I have 2 tunnel boring machines and 2 diamond tunnel boring machine bore heads, which means we can actually set up the rail production. Well, not rail production. We've got rail production set up already. We can actually set up the 2 rail tracks that we're going to do. Oh, yeah, I messed that up. Let me try that again, shall we? Just gonna try and take that extra rail thing up to a stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Right. So there are mobs outside. My night bot is taking care of some of them, if not all of them. And we also have a Mahusive issue outside, because for some reason my storage system's going a bit iffy. So the frame rate is not great because of that. If I look down there, you can see where the problem is. It's actually something to do with these. Trying to stack all this up. Quicksilver we don't need in there. Just get some more of that going. So I think the alloy smelters are actually working again. Oops. I'm trying to stay off the ground as much as possible because of mobs. So yes, this is cooking up circuit plates for some reason. I think stone is getting into this system. There certainly isn't any in here. But it keeps getting cooked up into circuit plates, which then aren't being taken into the central storage, which is proving to be quite troublesome. My picker robots also aren't dropping stuff off like they're supposed to, so that's kind of annoying. Aha, let's get rid of that. And compressed obsidian, we'll get rid of that as well. Okay, so all of this should be speeding up again in the near future. We're not going to worry about that too much. We're going to come over here and actually set up the first of our tunnel boring machines. Now you might notice on my hotbar I have 2 anchor carts. They're actually admin anchor carts. I figured since I am admin technically, I can break the rules a little bit and use them. I mean, they're not OP as far as I'm aware. It just means that I don't think you have to fill them. I think that's the perk of all of this. You don't actually have to fill them with anything. So because I've got 2 boring machines now instead of the 1, we're actually going to start laying track down this central core. Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking, am I doing this right? Yes, I am. So we can start laying track down this central core, and then we'll set the boring machines off. Or at least we'll get them set up ready. There we go. Now the downside to this is I do now have to redirect this slightly. I have a plan for that though, don't worry. So we're going to do this, and we're going to go duh, duh, duh. And then we're going to come up here, and we're going to push this train back. Like so. I'm looking forward to getting this going. Seeing how well it goes. Come on. There we go. And then that, and that. That and that. Right. Now these aren't full of anything, are they? No. Good. So I can pop this down, like so. Grab that and build the link. And then the next thing I want to do is come over to this. So we'll come back to that in a second. Yeah, because I've got to go collect some more supply. Actually, let's get these stocked up first of all. Let's get this stocked up. So you're going to be full of track. You can see it's already starting to feed in. You're going to be full of gravel. And again, you can see it's already starting to feed in. Like so. We'll put the cutter head in. I just won't put any fuel in yet, because it will then start up and I don't want it to do that. Might as well put this track in as well. There we go. So we'll also chuck that in there. So this is now full of track and full of ballast. Cool. Shall I make the other train? I might as well make the other train whilst I'm here, actually. So we'll do that, and then it's 3 chest carts. And then the... Ah, yes, I do still need to make another one of the undercutters. So let's join these up. Ah. Whoops. Just got to push that a little bit closer. There we go. Nicely done. Alright. So eventually the track is actually going to run along these gravel ones here. For the time being, it will run through the centre. I might end up with... maybe not. I was going to say the track remover cart at the back, but maybe not. I think that's going to be... Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. So maybe just for this stream, I will have just the track running through the centre there along the coal. And then when we upgrade in the future to 4-track, I'll replace the tracks in the centre with the ones either side. I think that'll work. Let's go in here. I'll tell you something else I need. Do I have one in here? Doesn't look like I do. I really should start saying what I'm thinking, because I'm just saying stuff and then not following it up. I'm going to move one of the capacitors from outside here indoors. And it will probably be... I nearly said that one, but that one's actually quite important. So it will probably be from this. Because I can't charge from these, I don't think. No. So for the time being, I'm just going to charge up from here. Hello, golfer. Really? That's odd. There we go. Alright, so I need to make one of those undercutter carts, which means I need to get more dandelion yellow. I don't want that stuff. Oh, skeleton. Somewhere. So many mobs. I need to create a whole fleet of knight robots. Fleet? Is that the right word? A whole infantry unit of knights to go around and just kill all the mobs. Ow. Ow. I also need to invest in some proper armor. I've got diamonds in abundance. I might as well go make some diamond armor. Join with 4 viewers, so that should have increased to 5, but instead it fell to 3. I wouldn't trust the view count on Twitch itself, unless you're referring to the one in the bottom right corner of the screen. In which case, yeah, that's kind of bad if it has dropped. Right. So I need an undercutter cart. Which is 2 diamond shovels, 2 pistons, block of steel, redstone lamp. How did I make this? Did I make this before? I'm sure I must have done. Yeah, I'm using these as storage at the moment. So I need 1 of you, 4 of you. What do the for God's sake, Mark, finish your sentences. What do the track remover carts require? More redstone lamps, sticky pistons, which I've only got 2 of, but I should be able to make 2 more of. I might just have 1 of these for now though, because we can just have 1 loop round. Alright, so I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to have the oh, that's a relayer. That's the undercutter. Right. It is still what I thought it was. Sounds like the mobs are fighting each other outside as well. I'm just going to bring the Nightbot back. I do that periodically just to make sure it is in fact still working. What do I need? Oh, for God's sake. I'm not having a good time of it. 2 diamonds. A load of sticks. Of which there are none. Interesting. There we go. And then pistons, which is a load of cobble, redstone and iron. So let's get a stack of cobble. I'm going to make a stack of pistons if I can. And then a stack of iron. Alright, let's see if we have enough. What am I missing? Oh, wood. Undercutter. Oh, for God's sake. I am not having a good time of it, am I? Right, we'll make 21 pistons. That's fine. We're then going to make 2 diamond shovels. Like so. We're then going to make as many redstone lamps as we can. Which is only 1 because actually, yeah, 1's fine. 1's all we need. And then we should be able to piston. Let's see, piston. Minecart, which probably wasn't there actually. You and you and you. Yeah, minecart at the bottom. Oh, is it the steel? Yeah, I haven't got the steel. Where did I put the steel? There. And the Nightbot's back as well, which is good news. There we go. Undercutter cart done. Right, now I need a load of coal. Blocks of coal. How many have I got? 5 stacks. I mean, ideally I need more than that. But what I could do instead, convert this all into coal coke. I've got loads here. You might have noticed the center of the track was coal, and then either side of it was white cobble. What I might do instead is put everything I've got here away. I have a chisel somewhere. So I'm going to grab like 2 of them. There we go. Let's pick all that up again. Try that again. I just want the compressed cobble. Or the double compressed. There we go. So that should be 9 stacks, maybe, give or take. Oh no, it's, yeah, no, I'm doing my maths wrong. It's taking forever to get cobble. Forever and ever and ever. So let's grab 1 triple, which I think is that one. Yeah. Like so. Like so. And like so. Alright, and then that we're going to put back into wherever it was, and then we should be able to pick this up. Nope. There we go. Right. We're dithering, we're dithering, we're dithering. And then all of this I'm going to turn into cobble blackstone or coloured cobblestone. Maybe coloured cobblestone because it looks darker. There we go. Cool. So we're going to go load up the machines. I should probably like walk most of the time. There's nothing wrong with walking. Easier than flying. So this is like a little branch line that I've got here. It goes off that way. Again, I'll use a tunnel boring machine for that. I'm not sure how I'm going to link that into the freight network though. Okie dokie. So you go there, and then it's another 3. 1, 2, 3, and we'll link these up to start with. So you to that. Try and do it without falling into the water, shall we? You to that, you to that. Come on. You to that. And then one of you, one of you. Now, do I have to put ender pearls in? Doesn't look like I have to. It won't even let me right click on it. That's how confident I am. So actually, I technically only need one of these. Since they're going to be running side by side. But, oh well, done it now. So you are going to get a cutting head. I do need to grab a little bit of gravel. Like literally 1 gravel. Just for a second. Because you going to replace that with that under, and this one is going to do the same, and that under, and then I'm going to change one of these to cobble whitestone, just a stack, and then whatever underneath convert to that, or actually, yeah, it's kind of because either side, this is what the track's going to sit on, but we can't just make it gravel because half the time it's going to fall. So I think if we have, is there a grayer type of cobblestone? There's light grey frequency. We'll do that. So then at the sides, you're just going to replace it with that. Whatever it is, you're going to replace it with that. Except that's not really going to work either, is it? Because it's going to replace all this stuff. So we might have to come back and replace this with the correct stuff. We'll have to see. Alright, so these are pretty much ready to go. We just got to fill them up with the right stuff. So I mean that should be enough for that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we got to get a load of this cobblestone as well. Light grey frequency. Someone remember that. And then at some point we got to come down here and dig these tunnels, which are going to be very, very long and very, very dark and very, very much covered in obsidian in case a creeper gets in. And I'm taking the scenic route back as well, I've just realised. Right. So the easiest way to get cobblestone is actually right below where I'm standing right now. This chest, which is full of crap for some reason. How has that ended up with all that stuff in it? I actually... Oh, because that's a world interaction upgrade. Okay. Got it. So if I drop that down, chances are I'll get picked up again. Look how fast this thing fills up with cobblestone though. That's why it's perfect for this. Alright. So we're going to fill it with this one. I mean, that kind of looks like ballast, doesn't it? I've seen worse. There are no others, are there? There's no other greys. There's that one which is just white, and then there's cobble whitestone. So these should all be converted now. There's the gravel still. I need to go and get more track in a second as well. I should make a backpack for myself at some point. Just run along here. So it looks like the Nightbot is doing a pretty decent job. I think there's a couple of mobs maybe underneath here. I know there's like a big open space underneath Guard Square because I made it. I dug it all out when I was building all this. It's amazing. I wish I'd done more screenshots of how this whole area looked before I started sculpting it ready. I've got some. If you go on majeffries.com and go on projects, there's a couple there that show the city before I properly started building it. You really should go here, shouldn't you? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then half an extra stack. And then you go like that, and you take that half of the stack. Good. There you go, see, it's already started working. So at some point, so put it in that one, yes it has. Oh, that's a different colour. So I might have to dye these again to get them the right colour. So all we need now really is loads of track, loads of gravel, and I wish you could tell it which chest cart to put it in. I suppose in a second it will do it automatically, won't it? When we start filling it up. So what is it? It's... oh yeah, loads of... right, yeah. Loads of ballast, which is gravel. Loads of track, which is track. And then loads of fuel, which is coal. So if we fill each one of these up with the right stuff, then we shouldn't have to worry about filling it up again for a little while. We can just let it go. There's Guard Bridge. That is the first thing I built in this city, was Guard Bridge. Very happy with it. And I think Guard Square was second, the station was third, the tower was fourth, and City Hall was last. I'm not that happy with City Hall's architecture. I'm probably going to change it up. I tried to make it look like an Egyptian temple kind of style building, and I think I missed the mark somewhat. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is completely fill up on rail. That didn't work out. Right. God, I wish this whole thing was closer. I wish I'd set it up closer. Ow. Let's take a shortcut. Go through the gardens. So this was all made... a lot of it was sculpted. Like the blocks that stick up. This was all pretty much completely flat when I started. Oh, how did that come into this? This is the metro tunnel. Yeah. Maybe I left that deliberately so you can see... so I can show it off. It's all going to be lined with obsidian anyway at some point. There are supposed to be lamps that turn on in Guard Square at night to stop mobs spawning. But I made this world in vanilla to start with and then imported it over. And then as I imported it, some stuff broke. So it doesn't quite work out as it's meant to. It's a little bit annoying, but oh well. Right, so we'll let that start filling up. My jetpack noise has disappeared. Bit odd. Have I shown you in here properly? I'm not sure I have. That sounded a bit close, that mob. This is going to be the little cafe restaurant that I was talking about last week. These lights will be gone. They'll hang from the ceiling. And then you get a nice view out over the Guard River, which is what the name of that big body of water is. And also out on the main line. I was going to make it so you could look down on the platforms, but it didn't really work. Maybe with some of the modded blocks it might make it a little bit nicer. Little shortcut. And up through here. Come on. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to fill up on rail even more. I mean, that should do it. Turn you back on as well. The night does seem to be doing its job, which is nice. I do keep hearing explosions from time to time, though, which is a little disconcerting. Yeah, so far so good. I might see if I can find something that places torches down along the side of the tracks as well. Mainly for my own personal protection more than anything else. Alright, one more trip and this should be full up. There's a zombie. Avoid that like the plague. Deary me. What's got better attack damage? +5. That's also +5. Alright, so I can use my pickaxe because it repairs itself as I'm going along. Oh, that one works. So it's supposed to be, that's meant to be a daylight sensor. You can see it's not a daylight sensor now. So it's meant to work that when there's daylight, I'll find another way of implementing this via a source somewhere else, and then use the redstone alloy cabling. Yeah, when there's daylight, it turns the lights off, and then once the sun goes down and it's no longer daylight, the lamps turn on and it stops mobs from spawning. I have a very similar setup, but not looking as nice, up on the roof of... In fact, it's probably a good time to show you. Up on the roof of Guard Tower, so you can see it's currently not daylight, therefore all the lights turn on. This is the daylight sensor here. So when it turns daylight, daylight hits this, sensor turns on, activates all of this redstone here, which makes the redstone torches turn off, which turns off the redstone lamps. And this just stops mobs spawning in places where they shouldn't be spawning. And I might actually go ahead and put that system over on City Hall as well. All flat roofed buildings essentially. Although some of these peaked roofs might need it too, judging by what's below me right now. Oh, and there's a compressed spider. Lovely. I don't like mobs in Minecraft. Particularly when I'm trying to be creative. I've got to leave them in because it's realism, but if it was up to me, no mobs. You fill up? You are now. You fill up. Yeah. Alright. So now we go and fill up on gravel, and we fill up those chest carts again. Ow. Seriously, leave me alone. Being harassed. Okay. I never moved that capacitor indoors, did I? Darn it. I just heard an explosion outside as well. Perfect. Fill that back up. Right, gravel. How much gravel do we have? Next to none. In fact, we have no gravel stored in there at all. So I need... What have we got here? Oh, we have a sawmill. It's right there. We don't have a use for you anymore then, buddy. What have we got in here? Nothing. I think, oh. Not quite sure what that was doing either. That's our little paper production. So we'll just stick you, and stone we'll keep hold of. I'm sure somewhere I have an extra sag mill that's not being used for anything. Yeah, here it is. So I need to put stone in here. To turn into cobble. What I actually need is to turn these off. Okay. There we go. And these will now accumulate gravel, and I'll make it go a little bit faster. If I drop down here, I have diamond hammers. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I didn't have that many. Okay. I don't want stone, I want diamond. Alright, let's grab a few stacks of that. And all the sticks. Okay. There we go. So this will speed up gravel production for us. And now we wait. I mean, we're not literally going to sit here and wait. I need to... What other ways? A macerator... or a crusher... or a pulverizer. Okay, pulverizer is what I need. By the looks of things. Yeah, because that's only a 10% chance. Or a hammer. Or I could just... yeah, I could just hit a stack of cobblestone with a hammer. Or use an immersive engineering crusher. Okay. Or a sludge boiler. Or a rock crusher. Yeah. So a pulverizer is ideally what I need. Apparently I can't spell pulverizer. Oh, there we go. That's why I can't spell pulverizer. So we need a machine frame, basic, which is tin, iron, and glass. And then we need those 2 extra copper gears that I've got somewhere. Turn that off again. So stick all those away. So I need tin. Let's get the iron first. And then we need tin. And then we need glass. And then we need those copper gears, which I put here. And then what else do we need? Flint. Another piston. What happened to all those pistons that I made? I stuck them in here. Redstone. Gold. Oh, we got a new follower. Hang on. I still can't read it on the screen properly. Aero by Cavier 27. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Yes, big thank you for the follow. Right. So I need to do that and that and that. And then on that. Might as well make loads of them. Need a basic machine frame, which is more iron, more glass. Right, so it's glass in the corners, isn't it? I think, and then it's iron in the center, and then it's the tin gears. Oh, at least it's easy to change if you do it wrong. There we go. Loads of machine frames. Now I need 2 flint. Do I have flint being stored anywhere? Yes, I do. I have compressed flint, don't I? Yes. That's what I love about, whoops, being able to compress everything. How the hell did I fall down here? I need to floor that up again, actually, because that's a massive pain. Pulverizer. Sweet. And I'm going to put that where the sawmill was. Cool. And then I'm going to grab as much cobble as I can. do get a fair whack coming through here. There we go, and we're going to pulverize it. I really need a chest here, don't I? Let's grab this. We'll make a chest. Although ideally, gotta stop doing that. Ideally we need 2. Maybe if I put this somewhere a bit smarter. Because we could actually connect it to this as the output. So let's say I put it in there. Would that work? Hang on, let's move this. So pulverizer basic. I need one of those energy things. Ion kinesis pipe, that's what they're called. Energy things. I love it when I use the technical term. Right. That goes there. Set it to the maximum output. Stick the pulverizer on it there. So you are now able to output above. Like so. We're going to disable you. Disable you. Alright. Oh, that's bad. That's what happens if you leave it connected too long. So you're going to go and do all that. And then you are going to be configured so that you are blue. In fact, I think if you shift click on that, yeah. And then it's the top, isn't it? Which is that one. You're going to be that. So why are you not pulling in? Oh, I think you have to upgrade it for that. Oh, it's so frustrating. So if I do that... Okay, hang on. I might have to feed this in by hand. It is outputting the gravel straight into the system though, which is good. Let's just get rid of all this stuff. Alright, so if you can't put out that side, then we're going to do that. So all the gravel, there we go. What I might do... Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I won't replace that. So I'm going to make another chest. And then I'm going to make a hopper. And then I'm going to make a filter. So it should be do this. Put that there. And do that. And then it's that. Okay, and then I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to do... Okay, that didn't work. It's funny, the crowbar sometimes works as a wrench, and sometimes it doesn't. And it's never obvious. So I should be able to do... I'm just going to replace it. Okay, and then you are going to be input on top. you're going to be insert that cobblestone. Is it working? No, it isn't. Why? Because I've probably got the wrong colour set up. So it outputs on whites. You need to input on white. Really? Still not working? I mean, that... What colour is the... I can't find out there, can I? It's all behind here. This is where I don't like my system. Okay, so you are green. So the input to all this is most likely green. That's my buffer chest. So that's outputting on green. So this should be inputting on green. There we go. With whitelist cobble. But it's not. It's quite annoying that it doesn't want to work. It might be because I need to upgrade it. Yeah, allows for automatic transfer out. Redstone controls. Allows for the sides to be reconfigured. I don't think it's working exactly how I want it to. So I might as well get rid of that. Actually, hang on. Do that. Take that out. And then we'll turn it off. There we go. Alright. So that's rather frustrating. In fact, there is an output here, which I could set up to extract. And that will put all the gravel. So actually, what would make more sense would be... Let me think about this. It would make more sense to take this out and take this out, stick that there with that, extract on, yep. Let me grab this extra. Where did I put it? There. Oh, did the yeah, Nightbot came back. Good, good. So I'll stick you there. Upgrade you. There we are. And then put you there. Put that back there quickly, because that's going to be full of crap again. Yes, it is. Duh, 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 duh. Now, yes, that needs to be white. I think that's white. That looks like white, doesn't it? Oh, it's light grey. It's not white. There we go. Now is it starting to fill up? Yes, it is. Very slowly. But if I now make that blue, still won't pull in. Okay. I think I know what the problem is. And I'm going to use this to solve it. I'm just going to grab a pulverizer from here. Otherwise we're going to be waiting all night for this. I'm going to do that. get rid of you. What upgrades do you need? It's thermal expansion. Probably typed it wrong there. I hate how long it takes to load. I know there's a lot of mods and I know there's a lot of blocks and stuff, but oi, this is painful. Yeah, thermal. No. That should do it. Come on, game. Alright, and now I'm looking for... Okay. So what are they called? Augmentations, right? Yeah, augment. Come on. Come on, game. Work with me here. So I need the one... Allows insertion and extraction through the coil of a dynamo. No. Is it that one? Yeah. Allows for automatic transfer into a device. That one I've already got. That one I've already got. And I think it's one of these ones I've already got as well. I think what I actually want is... that one. 8 times speed. I'm just going to stick you there. Alright, let's stick these in first. So, you are blue. There we go. And then underneath is that colour. There we go. You are now pulverizing at 8 times the speed. Requires previous level. Oh. Maybe not then. Don't think I want that one. Let's move you there. We'll put you there. Augment. I mean, this is technically cheating, I suppose, but oh well. Life goes on, eh? So you go there. You go... Oops, not there. Here. Go back into survival. And you go there, and you go there. Now we're going at 8 times speed. Look at that drop. So we're not getting the power in fast enough. Here seems to be the bottleneck. It is laying it in at 1280. Maybe I'll take that one out. Yeah, it's gone back up now. So this one is 4 times the speed. 4 times the speed is fast enough. Yep, okay. So that's going to make us an absolute buttload of gravel now. Might as well put that there. So we're going to fill up with gravel. Via this. So we'll do that and we'll do that. It's coming in quite slow. I'm just wondering if it's being intercepted elsewhere. Is that still going up? Oh, it's going down again. I think it fluctuates, actually. Yeah, it fluctuates. That chest is going to be full up soon. So that's filling up nicely. What have we got here? 2 lots of graphite bars. I'm not sure why we needed graphite in there twice. Because I think over here we actually have some stuff that could be stored. Like jungle wood, for example. I might do that because we've got rubber saplings here. and rubber wood. We'll see. Okay, so we're just going to wait for the gravel now, which is taking its time. What about sand? In fact, how much cobble have we got in here now? Yeah, that's still going up. Yeah, it's still going up. And we got quite a bit of sand. So that's the other thing. This thing, as well as making gravel, it does also spit out sand from time to time. Oh, that is quite low now. Let's let this fill up a bit. I need to go over to the reactor at some point as well and check how much we got there. How much yellorium we've got there, because that might be dropping slightly as well. Come on, game. That's 2 times speed. Wish I had I suppose I could do the... let's see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Grab ourselves one of these. And I know I've just filled it up, but take all the cobble out of here. Promise you this will be worth it. So these are both compressed, and then if I just do this with whatever we've got left, there we go. And then what happens is step out here like this, and we'll just build this as high as we possibly can. I think we'll do this to start with, and then we'll come back and do this second one. And then you just cut it all down. Lovely views from up here, by the way. Not so much for me because I got my draw distance turned down, but you really get to see how big this city's going to be. There's the reactor, the power station. That's going to be about 4 or 5 times the size when it's finished. There's the original quarry, guard station, guard tower. The Somerset, which is the residential area down there, which will be growing in the near future as well. So it's not the most exciting thing in the world doing this, but you know, it gets the job done. That's the main thing. It's a very, very quick way of getting gravel compared to the pulverizer method, which isn't as fast. It's probably the same actually, thinking about it. It's a couple of seconds per here, but we get 9 per hammer. suppose it depends really. And there we go. And then if I go in here, we've got all these stacks of gravel. Now we've just got to do this stack. So each tower that I'm building here of 64 compressed cobblestone will give us 9 stacks of gravel. You can see how the daylight sensor's working now, by the way. Because the sun's out, it lights up the redstone there, which turns off all the lamps. The ones in Guard Square are still switched on, but I suppose that's not a bad thing, considering they are under trees, therefore mobs might still spawn under there even during daylight hours. My jetpack badly needs charging. Still need to move that capacitor indoors. There we go. And we're almost now full of gravel. Before I forget, I'm going to run out here. Charge up the old jetpack. There we go. Let's get rid of that. And that, I suppose. I don't think I need the chisel right now. Tell you what, something else I'm going to do. Here. Just so I don't have to keep going through the door each time. Alright, chuck all that in there, which will get rid of the gravel as well. But if I come back down here to the pulverizer, stick that back in. So that's going to slowly wind down with power. Put the hammer in here and then come over here. Your cobblestone. I need all the gravel. There you go. We're nearly full of gravel now. Alright, let me just run back over here and see how this is doing. So we're not going to be able to fill up the carts, unfortunately. Unless we turn it from blocks to just coal coke, then we might be able to. How close are we to... Oh, we actually have got enough. Right. So let's go fill up one cart. And then we can fill up the second cart. What I might actually do is do half and half, just so that we got enough to actually get these boring machines started. So you're full of rail, so you are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that. And then you are going to be full of all of... Whoops, that didn't work. There we go. Now this one's going to have more now because it's full, whereas this one isn't. But in theory, these are now ready to go. All they're missing is fuel, which we can sort out in a second. So what's going to happen is, the borehead machines are going to cut through anything that's in its way. So at the moment, nothing. It's just going to lay down gravel. and it builds it up. So there's a 2-block gap here, so it's going to drop gravel here, then it's going to place the track, and then the whole machine's going to continue pushing forward. Once it gets to an obstacle like that little hill over there, it mines out a 3x3 area, which is the same size as the bore head itself. And then, yeah, it just digs a tunnel. So if you think about Crossrail, how Crossrailers work with the tunnel boring machines, that's exactly what these two things are going to do here. And then, as it goes along, places the ballast and then places the track. Anything that's dug out is going to be stored in these first 3 carts. And then once we get to this thing here, it's going to take the gravel from underneath the track, and it's going to replace it with this black cobblestone, which is all stored in these here. The gravel that it then picks up, I'm hoping it puts on this side, so then it goes back into the boring machine and it gets recycled. Anything else, so anything it takes out of this to replace with the light grey frequency, it will just dump into, I'm hoping, these chests at the back, although most likely these chests at the front. And again, if it digs up something that could be reused, then it will be. So if it takes gravel and replaces it, then it will all get recycled by the bore head, or the boring machine. The bore head doesn't actually do anything. Once the boring machines are finished, there should be a block there actually. Maybe a fence. Oh, I might have made that for fence posts, actually, thinking about it. You can see how this works. It's quite a nice bridge actually. Quite a nice design. Yeah, once they've reached their conclusion in terms of boring, then we'll worry about the rest. Eventually I will also set up a boring machine here, pointed that way, and it will go and dig out the metro tunnel underneath. Well, to be honest, to start with, it will just follow the track that's already been placed. So there's 2 ways you could dig out tunnels. You can use that method with the boring machine, or you can use a different method, which is to use the Steve's Carts miner and railer, which isn't as good, I don't think, because that one you actually have to control it yourself. So you get to dig tunnels up and down and left and right and things like that, but because you have to mine it yourself, you can't just set it going and leave it to its own devices. You have to constantly check up on it to make sure it's doing its job properly. I'm just going to take 2 blocks of sandstone really quickly and turn this from a 2-block hole to a 1-block hole. It might be harder to reach it with the jetpack, like reach it as a target, but it'll stop spiders coming in. So the last thing to do is to fill it up with coal. And I'm kind of torn at the moment. Do I go with conventional coal, which doesn't burn as much? We also don't have much of it because it's all over here. The alternative is using the coal coke, which, if I grab all of it that we have here, so if I turn this just into non-blocks, see how many stacks we get. I could just do that. Burn time is 3,200 ticks. If I turn it into a block, it's 32,000. So it's times 10, even though there's 9. So I think actually it makes more sense to have these as blocks. Because 32,000 ticks is quite a long time. You divide that by 20, that's how many seconds. And because we've got the admin anchor carts, I don't need to worry too much about it despawning or getting lost or anything like that. I don't know why I'm doing it like that. I can just do it like that. Yeah, we don't need to worry about the carts getting lost or anything like that. I really should do it like this. I don't know why I insist on doing it wrong. Like so. Like so. Like so. Like so. To get all of those. around like that to get all of those, and then like that. Okay, so we have enough for a stack each, and then we'll split the 15 relatively evenly. Now the reason I left the fueling till last is because as soon as you chuck fuel in these things, they just start moving. Like, there's no on-off switch or anything like that. They just go for it. So it saves having to chase the whole machine down the track. Now what I might do actually, before we start... That's a skeleton. Ow. That's a zombie archer actually. They're rare. That's a creeper. Creepers are the reasons. Creepers and skeletons are the reasons I don't like mobs on Minecraft. They are the worst creatures imaginable. Because they're just designed... Skeletons are designed to screw with you because you can't attack them because they keep knocking you back. And creepers are just designed to mess up everything you've spent hours building. Right, I want to grab a minecart. Before we go anywhere, I'm going to connect one of these minecarts to the back of the train. Just so that we can hop in and ride it for a little bit. So I don't think you can stand on the tunnel boring machine. I don't think it carries you. I think you just slide off the back of it. And the other thing to point out is if you stand in front of the tunnel boring machine whilst it's operating, so if the tunnel boring head is spinning and you stand in front of it, it does do damage. And it kills you relatively quickly. So it's wise to keep out of its way. Get away from me. Ow! Son of a bun. Right. Connect these. I would have liked to have started this in daylight actually, so I'm going to stand here for a second. Right, any sign of the sun coming up soon? Or am I clutching at straws? I think I'm clutching at straws. Alright, we'll start these off. So we'll start this one first. And then we'll start this one. Well, that's got fuel in. Oh! Yeah, okay. I see what happened. Ow. Ow. Leave me alone, spiders. Alright, so I'm going to put half a stack, not in that one, in here, like that, and then the other half in there, like that. Let's get away from here for a second, just to kill these spiders. Because there are a lot of them. So there you go. You can see, if I stand here, you can see how the tunnel bore machines work. Ow! That was an ender creeper by the looks of things. Let me just keep an eye on my map as well whilst I'm doing this. So you can see... I didn't make my armor, did I? Let me go make some armor. And also... what was the other thing I was going to get? There was something else really important that I was going to get. I've completely forgotten what it was. I'm sure I'll remind myself in a second. Right. So I'm not sure how strong diamond armor is compared to other forms of armor in modded Minecraft. I know it's not the best, but I'm not really designing it to be the best. So helmet, boots, didn't mean to do that, trousers, boots, and then chest plate. There we go. Now I can't actually put the chest plate on, I've just remembered, because I've got a jetpack on, but the rest of it I can. put on. And I suppose if I'm travelling in the back of the minecart, I can always... Oh, I know what I was going to do. It's a good thing I turned around and looked at this. You, my friend, are no longer going to work in just the tree farm area, and I'm also going to switch you on. Go kill. Go kill everything. Good, robot. And between this stream and next, I'm going to go through and add loads more night bots. So the sun is starting to rise. We're actually heading towards the sunrise as well, which is nice. We get to watch the sun come up. Should I have charged my jetpack? I probably should have. We're just going to run. We're just going to outrun. Because most of the skeletons and zombies are all going to burn up. There will still be creepers, and they might still blow up right next to us. But it shouldn't be too bad, really. Ah, interesting. I am sure that these used to just place the cobblestone as you were going along, and it would make a 3-wide area. I'm sure that's how these used to work. Apparently that's not the case. There you go. You get a good example of how these work now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, you're not going to burn up because you're wearing armor. How annoying. What sword is that? Bay doesn't drop it. No, he dropped lapis leggings. Well, that's just great, isn't it? So yeah, you get to see how the borehead works. I'm going to try and stand not too close to it so I don't kill myself, but you can see there it's mined out a 3x3 area, and then it places down the track, and then it moves forward to the next block, and then all of this stuff here gets put behind it. Have we run out of... Oh, it's just replacing gravel. Okay, let me change that. I'm going to do that here as well. Yeah, that was dumb. So this track here will have to be replaced so it's got the right thing underneath it. Although the track's all going to get ripped up in the end anyway, so it's not too bad. So yeah, even things like these trees will get cut down by the boring machine as it goes through. It's kind of refilling it with gravel. Yeah, there is gravel here. There's always one of these always has just one. It never has a full stack. So that's something else to bear in mind. It might look like it's starting to run low, but it's not. Because in fact, these chests here will be full up with gravel still. And then, yep, that's all being laid down. These will all get filled up as well eventually. And yeah, we just get to sit back and watch it go now, which is good. We are now officially mining on rails. So this might be boring to a lot of people watching this, but I love watching this. I love watching big machines work, and this is a very, very good example of that. Just getting to sit back and watch these two boring machines go at it. It's the first time I've ever had two boring machines running side by side like this. So between streams I am definitely going to be sitting back and watching these two work. So next week it looks like we'll actually set up the quarries, of which there will be probably 10, 5 on each side of the track, as it were. Because these things can mine out for ages. Essentially they will operate until they run out of either gravel, coal or track. And the other thing, of course, as it goes through the trees, it does pick up the wood and use that as fuel. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. That was me being dumb. Hang on a second. I'm going to have to replace the boring machine. So let me push the train back a second. Give myself enough room. Pop it down. Do that. And then... load all that up. We'll load all this up. And we might as well get it moving again. So when they did, when they dug the tunnels for Crossrail, they actually ran the boring machines, like I think it was 100 meters apart. And the reason they did that was because one boring machine running underneath central London was enough to make buildings move. To put it in layman's terms, buildings were shifting with the tunnels being dug underneath them. Imagine two. If one does that damage, imagine what two would do. So they decided, quite rightly actually, and quite smartly, that it would be easier to have them running staggered. So that's kind of what we've got here now as well. They are running staggered. The only difference is we aren't actually running under any buildings at the moment. But yeah, these machines are pretty self-sufficient. Once they're going like this, like I said, until they run out of track, gravel or fuel, they will go. They'll just keep going. They do need all three in order to work, so you won't have it, say it runs out of gravel, it won't just keep putting track down on an empty block or anything like that, or if it runs out of track, it won't just run grinding along the ground or whatever it might be. It does need both to function. But the fact that it can technically refuel itself if you set it away through trees, it's always positive. The one downside is when you build bridges like this, it is using a lot of gravel. I think it's 10 blocks. It will... Whoops, that's what happens when you go in front of the borehead. I think it's 10 blocks is the maximum. If there's a drop of more than 10 blocks, then it will just stop until you place some blocks down underneath it to make the gap smaller. So we are losing a lot of gravel here. But one thing that I can do manually as it's going along is actually come along here and dig out the gravel periodically. So it looks like it's still being held up, because I don't want floating track, obviously. And then come back at a later date and put in more permanent structures to hold all the track up. But yeah, I think we're in a different biome at this point. Looks like we're going into more of a jungle type biome here. Whereas that is Green Meadows, I think it's called. And the little undercutter cart. Again, this thing works so long as it's got the items. So if it's got the black cobblestone or the grey cobblestone, it will keep placing blocks. Once it runs out of those blocks, the boring machine will still operate. It just won't be replacing the blocks behind it, which will then lead to it running out of gravel as well. So the whole operation will eventually come to a stop. But yeah, it's refueling itself, which is nice. And the other cool thing is, if it digs out wood and there isn't enough room for it in here at the time, it actually pops it in one of the 3 chests behind it, and then as soon as it needs it, it will pull the fuel back into... keep falling off into the borehead, into the boring machine, sorry, and then continue to work. So like I say, it's a very self-sufficient system. It's awesome to sit back and watch it. These are some of the largest moving blocks in Minecraft. They are quite amazing just to sit and watch. So for example, if we stand here and watch that one. The other thing, actually, there's 4 factors that make it stop. There's running out of fuel, running out of gravel, running out of track, or if the bore cutter, the bore head, runs out of durability. But these are diamond ones, so they do tend to last quite a long time. Have we got a... Yes, so see, this has got a more than 10 block drop now. So it's not going to work properly. So if I grab some dirt and manually place it. It's not quite where I wanted it. I wanted it... Oops. There. So again, there's more than 10 blocks. So we'll place that there. So the key here now is to go in front of it without getting caught by it. We'll have to go do the same for the other one in a second, I imagine. Which is another advantage of having these staggered, I suppose, is it does mean... Now I think one of the downsides to this system is the machines, I believe, do still burn fuel even when they're stopped for this reason. So you might think, oh, it's saving fuel by stopping. It's not. I think it does still burn the fuel. Oh, my jetpack's run out. That's slightly problematic. All this to try and get back up on here. So what I'm going to do is grab the stack of dirt. Yep, this one needs it now. So from here, I should be able to lay down a dirt path for it to follow. And this is all, as I say, temporary. Once the first layer is done and the track's been laid, I'll send around a steam locomotive with the track remover cart and some chest carts to pick it all up again, and then we can lay the proper tracks down. Which I believe you can do with a steam locomotive pushing a train. I can't remember, my jetpack's depleted. Pushing a train that's made up of a track layer cart and then loads of chest carts. So the track layer cart will obviously have to go at the front, and then you put the chest carts, 3, and then you put the steam locomotive. But yeah, this is going to pretty much look after itself from now on. I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to run back to base. And I'm going to set a waypoint at base. So you can see all the work I'm going to have to do here afterwards. I'm going to have to come back with a track layer. So as well as a track laying cart, I might also have the undercutter cart as well, run in front of that even, to deposit the ground. I'm just trying to think how I'm going to set it up cart wise. Not sure it's going to work. That's why I'm a bit annoyed about the undercutter, because I thought if you left it blank it just replaced everything. It doesn't seem to be the case. So there's a couple of reasons I'm coming back to base. The first one is to set a waypoint so I can teleport to and fro in the future. Second reason is to, what is that? Oh, it's yeah, industrial hemp. Second reason is to turn off the night bot, because we want it to come back and recharge when I switch off the game in a second. And the third reason is to recharge my jetpack. Did I mention that? I think I mentioned that. And whilst I'm doing all this, let's actually charge it first, shall we? Come on. There we go. Fly up. Because I'm going to borrow this. There's the Nightbot. Has he got a sword? Oh, it's a picker bot. Where's the Nightbot? Might have lost it. That's the... Oh no, there it is. You never know. I wish there was something like just a block that you could refer to check the status of all of your things. Okay. We'll turn that off and we'll configure... I suppose your input then. So I can always now charge my jetpack from here. Cool. The other thing I wanted to do was put this back on peaceful. Anything else? Stick this stuff in here, I suppose. And then just fill up with... Actually, just put one back. There we go. And we'll do that. And then we'll come over here and we'll just fill up with coal. so. And then come over here and fill up with gravel. There we go. Stick that back in there. The next thing I'm going to do is set up that again. City Hall. You're going to be, let's put it in M4J blue, shall we? So 1, 0, 1, 2, 8. There it is. So if I go back to this now, there it is, City Hall. And if I move back, City Hall. Okay. And now I'm going to catch up to my trains again. So the reason I've stocked up on track and fuel and gravel is just so that what I'm planning on doing for the rest of the night is just sitting in the back of this thing and letting it work, essentially. So if it needs refueling, I'll be able to refuel it. I am heading out with my family in like an hour, so I'm going to leave it running whilst I'm out and then see how far we've got when we get back. But eventually, you can imagine not this black row here, but the 2 rows either side of it, this stuff here, carrying tracks, express tracks in the middle, stopping tracks on the outside, and trains running here, there and everywhere, with junctions in different places, grade separated junctions, flat junctions as well if absolutely necessary. And yeah, just running this along and seeing how it goes. I'm quite looking forward to doing that, actually. Let's just tidy this up a bit. I'm not too fussed about reclaiming the dirt blocks at the moment. Not these ones, anyway. And probably either the start of next week's stream or between this week and next week's streams, I will go through and tidy these up a little bit and make them look a little bit nicer as well. Aha! So here's a problem. That's a water lily, which is not a stable block, so it's trying to drop gravel on top of it, which doesn't work. So that's why we've got that going on. So I'm actually going to go to here and stick a stack of gravel in just to make up for that. And then I should be able to come down and, not that, somewhere, maybe it's on the other side, all that gravel that was dropped. It's very dark here. Don't like it. There we go. So yeah, that's another problem. I think I mentioned this last week as well. If there's like cacti on the ground, it does just continuously drop gravel on it. Even though it knows it's not going to... Well, it should know it's not going to work, actually, because these things are smart enough. I mentioned this last week as well. If it knows there's water in the next block that can end up flooding into the tunnel, then it doesn't mine out that block. However, it doesn't do that for things like cacti. It doesn't know that there's cacti directly beneath it, so it does end up digging it out, which is not great. Are we really out of gravel already? I suppose because this one we put a lot more gravel down over there, and then for this one I went through and put the dirt in, so we didn't need it. And how much gravel did we have in here? Fair amount. Oh, it burns rubber as well. That's cool. I might keep the rubber though. Is there any saplings? No. So again, the trees that are currently hanging over it, I will come back and tidy those up as well, make them look nicer. Yeah, that beehive is going to go. So I might as well get them now. If there are blocks that it destroys with things inside, like chests, I think it does actually collect the items that were in the chest as well. I think it does. I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, I'm going to start wrapping up the stream now, guys. So, I'm quite happy with how this is looking. We've got 2 boring machines now travelling across the country, doing their job nicely. I will periodically jump backwards and forwards between City Hall and here just to make sure that it's always stocked up and always running. And I'm going to leave it running whilst I'm out, and I'm probably going to leave it running overnight as well, just to make sure that it is definitely collecting everything that it's supposed to, and it is, you know, distributing everything that it's supposed to, and just to make sure it's all working properly, essentially. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up this stream. So thank you very much to everyone that's watched this on YouTube. No one's really watched it on Twitch, but you know, streaming at 5 PM, I can kind of understand why. Those of you who are watching on YouTube that do want to watch the stream in the future, subscribe to the calendar on the M4J Media website, because if I am rescheduling a stream for whatever reason, I will always edit the calendar as well so that it will notify you of the new time. So that's just a little heads up about that. I wish that were... I might get night vision or something, or just place torches down every now and then. No, I'm not going to do that actually. Did I pick that up again? I think I did. I forgot how you get out minecart. Oh, it's just shift. Yeah. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I will always change the stream time if the time has changed on the calendar. So if you subscribe to the calendar, you will always get the notification at the right time. But besides that, thank you for those of you who have watched on YouTube. Thank you to Tom for watching it on Twitch. At least one person watched. That's always the main thing. I will be back tomorrow with Planet Coaster at the normal time, because there's no football or anything tomorrow, so it should be the time as stated currently on the calendar. So until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button or the subscribe and follow buttons, and until next time, I will see you soon.